like anything, I'm sure you've stacked a few times at the start there. How did you, work up the confidence to continue? And also, you must have developed some incredible kind of spatial awareness and awareness within your body just to know how things are meant to feel, how you're meant to land things, what's kind of outside your realm of capability. Talk us through, I guess, the early initial phases of getting started with parkour and
Yeah.
how the experiences have been now that you're, really more advanced and doing some crazy things that you probably never thought you'd be able to do.
Mm. Well, at the start of parkour, at the start of training, it was very much taking inspiration from the internet and from others that I hadn't met in person. I was fortunate that I was a little bit more physically practiced than a lot of my peers. So the early stages of me getting a backflip, getting a front flip, being able to do a running jump, being able to jump as far or further than my peers, I had a lot of positive reinforcement at the start there. And then when I met the scene, they were really good at keeping me in check without making me feel bad, because I would say for parkour at the time, I had quite inflated ego, consider myself advanced, but there's not really an advance that doesn't really exist
Yeah.
in a way. So when I came to the scene and started doing classes, and within a couple of weeks I actually was doing instructor training and began that process of becoming a teacher very early on. It gave me more adoration and understanding for the athletes involved, because it wasn't just this Yahoo adrenaline junkie, go out and do the hardest thing. It was very much about like building your tent and building your solid base to go from. And yeah, then the people involved just kept me coming back. You know what I mean? I just wanted to train with the guys and go out in the city and push myself. And yeah, because I came from a sporting background, I felt like I was able to train a lot harder and a lot longer than a lot of the guys. I was pushing, 8 hours a day of going out. Everyone at that time, we're all teenagers, so we all have the energy to be out that long and doing it for that amount of time. And yeah, I just kind of kept doing it when other people stopped. Like life would get in the way, be it like personal dilemmas or professional. They need to get a job, maybe moving out of home, need to get a paycheck. Suddenly the 9 to 5 kicks in. You can't just be out in the city with the boys all the time. But that was one of the motivations for becoming a garbage man, is because I really wanted to make this a career. And I thought if I can work the shifts in the morning and do my parkour in the afternoon, create my media there, that's going to be the best way for me to get the best of both worlds. And then at a certain point, I thought I was just going to be a garbage man forever. Like I was still happy just
Yeah.
doing parkour in the afternoons. It didn't have to take off, and then when it did, it became like there's something I'm eternally grateful for, and this huge shift and catalyst in my life.
If we rewind all the way back to when you started as a garbologist,
Yep.
you like your first initial sponsor was with Apes Gym, and
Yep.
they paid your rent for you initially. How much of a win was that, considering that social media grind you're on? Because as we've previously discussed, it is a sport where I guess the financial opportunities are very slim. So how
Yeah.
much of a kind of again like a eureka moment was that for you in terms of being able to launch your career now that you've got this time where you're not chasing that pay packet so that you could leverage your time to be able to do more of this parkour?
Yeah. So I mean, I did garbage for 4 years before I was sponsored by Apes, and that was like a quite a long chunk of my coming up or breakout was very much just being a garbage man. Even when I was traveling overseas, I was still working as a garbage man. But then when Apes gave me that opportunity, it was a huge pay cut. Like I said, they were just paying basically my rent, and then I had $50 a week to kind of live off. And then anything that I wanted to earn on top of that, what I was trying to earn through parkour, be it performances, personal training, whatever it could at that stage to make it work. Um, and I was still being flown overseas for different jobs interjectionally, which was really, really helpful. Like I did China, I think 3 times in that year. I was flown back and forward. And so that just kept, if I'm over there and they're paying for meals and stuff, it means I'm not paying directly for living costs. So it all works out. Um, but it was yeah. Once that happened, it gave me the time that I needed to focus on actually bringing this career to fruition. I approached Apes and asked them if it was possible to work with the sponsorship, And I told them my goal at the time was to become a Red Bull sponsored athlete. And so then there was 2 or 3 years there where I was working really hard with apes. I joined Team Farang, which is an international parkour team. And that was kind of the catalyst and brought it all to fruition in 2017, where I finally got that Red Bull sponsorship. And from there, it's been a whole dream of, yeah, an unreal opportunity. And
Yeah.
my whole life has become parkour, and it's just yeah, I'm super grateful and appreciative of that fact, and I'm just always doing everything I can to keep that my reality.